This is more than just a piece of cloth. It's not simply a uniform for training or a costume to look the part. This garment, the kimono, carries with it centuries of history, a legacy built through countless battles, relentless discipline, moments of peace, and fierce competition. From the bloody battlefields of feudal Japan to the polished mats of modern gyms worldwide, the kimono has stood as a symbol of honor, resilience, and personal growth. Today, we embark on a journey through time, a 400-year story of the kimono, to understand not only what it is, but why it holds such deep meaning. Jujutsu, often called the gentle art, was born in a time anything but gentle. During Japan's Sengoku period, a brutal era marked by constant war and chaos, samurai warriors faced endless battles. Sometimes, their swords or spears were broken or lost. In those moments, they had to rely solely on their bodies. Out of necessity, jujutsu emerged, a practical and deadly system of fighting that used joint locks, throws, pins, and strikes to subdue opponents without necessarily causing death. It was a method focused on control and efficiency, a way to win without brute force. As centuries passed, jujutsu branched into many schools, each developing its own unique styles, philosophies, and techniques. For example, Takenouchi Ryu emphasized grappling even when armed, while Kito Ryu specialized in throws and body mechanics. Some schools treated jujutsu as a practical martial skill, others as a path of spiritual growth. Despite differences, all shared one core idea: true victory comes through control and technique, not raw strength. In the early 1600s, the Tokugawa shogunate unified Japan, ending centuries of war and ushering in a long era of peace called the Edo period. With peace, the samurai's role changed dramatically. They were no longer warriors fighting constant battles, but became bureaucrats, teachers, and guardians of culture. Their swords were often sheathed, yet their warrior spirit remained alive, now channeled into discipline and self-improvement. Jujutsu transformed from a deadly survival skill into a disciplined art of physical and moral training. Dojo, training halls, became places not just to learn fighting techniques, but to cultivate patience, respect, hierarchy, and perseverance. Students practiced bowing, proper etiquette, and slow, precise kata forms. Each school had its own symbols, colors, and rituals, emphasizing lineage and purity of practice. This era marked a fundamental shift. The focus moved from jutsu, meaning technique or skill, to dao, meaning the way or path. Jujutsu became a lifelong path of personal development. Why does the jujutsu kimono look the way it does today? To answer this, we must look back at two key garments worn by samurai during Japan's Sengoku period: the KOSODE and the HAKAMA. Jujutsu practitioners of that era trained for battle through a practice called kumiuchi, wearing the same KOSODE and HAKAMA they used beneath their armor. The KOSODE was a practical, versatile garment, the ancestor of today's kimono. It allowed for a wide range of motion and was designed for ease of movement, enabling samurai to move freely, whether on the battlefield or in training. The HAKAMA, on the other hand, played a vital role in training comfort. Worn beneath armor, it added cushioning, reduced friction, absorbed sweat, and offered breathability, all essential during intense practice. Together, these garments formed the original uniform of early jujutsu practitioners. The late 19th century brought dramatic changes to Japan. The Meiji Restoration modernized the country, introducing railways, new technologies, and a rapidly shifting identity. In this time of transformation, one man sought to preserve Japan's martial traditions while adapting them to the modern world. His name was Jigoro Kano. A scholar and educator, Kano studied many jujutsu schools, extracting the safest and most effective techniques. He removed dangerous moves and combined the best principles into a new martial art called Judo, the gentle way. Kano didn't just create a new fighting style, he established a system for lifelong learning, focusing on three pillars: physical education, competition, and moral cultivation. Even after Jigoro Kano founded the Kodokan, the spiritual home of Judo, garments like the KOSODE and HAKAMA continued to be used as training uniforms in their original form. However, frequent abrasions and injuries led to further changes. Around 1907, the uniform was redesigned into a sturdier form, evolving into the durable Judo Kimono we recognize today. These improvements made the uniform tougher and more practical, allowing for a wider range of techniques, especially fostering the evolution of throwing techniques in both judo and jujutsu. This was the birth of the kimono as we know it today, a symbol of purity, order, and growth. In 1917, Mitsuyo Maeda gave a demonstration at the Paz Theater in Brazil, where a 14-year-old boy named Carlos Gracie was in the audience. Maeda accepted Carlos as a student and began teaching him judo, known at the time in Brazil as Kano Jiu-Jitsu. The youngest Gracie brother, Helio, was initially too young and physically weak to train. Doctors even advised him not to participate. However, Helio eventually joined the training and overcame his health issues. Together with Carlos, he helped shape what became known as Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. They emphasized leverage and technique over strength and size, along with live sparring and positional control. This evolution gave birth to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, BJJ. As the art evolved, so did its uniform. BJJ kimonos became lighter and more durable, designed to withstand intense, high-friction sparring. Sleeves were shortened for better grip fighting, collars thickened to resist chokes, and color options expanded beyond white to include blue, black, and custom designs. From battlefield undergarment to symbol of a global martial art, this is how the kimono for judo and jiu-jitsu evolved. The kimono became not just a uniform, but a statement of identity, culture, and pride. When you put on your kimono, you wear 400 years of history. You wear the survival instincts of samurai warriors, the discipline of Edo-era dojos, the structured vision of Jigoro Kano, and the innovation of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu pioneers. You are not just preparing to roll or spar, you are continuing a legacy. With every knot tied and every step onto the mat, you carry the spirit of generations who came before you. This is more than training gear. It is the armor of a modern warrior. So wear it with pride and walk the path.